How do you feel when your government fails you, or sickness steals from you, or when events are so bad they take your breath away? Can you still live in joy? In today's episode, you'll discover the answer lies in righteousness. Short episodes to inspire and encourage you for the journey of your life. Welcome to your kingdom journey. Righteousness holds the key to joyful kingdom living. Let me read to you from Isaiah chapter 32, verses 17 through 18, in the Amplified translation. And the effect of righteousness will be peace, and the result of righteousness will be quietness and confident trust forever. Then my people will live in a peaceful surrounding, and in secure dwellings, and in undisturbed resting places. To fully understand the meaning of those verses, you really should begin reading from verse 9, where it's full of warnings of fruitless times filled with mourning, until the Spirit is poured out from on high, in verse 15. Beloved, we live in the days of the outpoured Spirit. Justice and righteousness live in what are now fertile lands. But maybe you doubt that and become discouraged, like I can get at times after watching the news or social media posts reporting on protests and rebellion, anger, hatred, even murder. Ugh, where did my peace go? I want my joy back. Isaiah tells us the fruit of righteousness is peace, and the result of righteousness is quietness and confidence forever. Quietness and confidence? Are you kidding? Who doesn't want that? That quietness and confidence mean that no matter what comes or happens, you can live free from worry, and you'll be happy and blessed. Wow. Sound too good to be true? Because the Spirit is upon us, it's our time to take our eyes off of our problems and see that God's righteousness, which leads to peace, is available to us right now. The Apostle Paul confirms this in Romans 14, verse 17. The kingdom of heaven is not food and drink, but righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. In other words, righteousness and peace, which lead to joy, are not found in our work and our effort to provide food and shelter. Indeed, it's not seen through competing for attention or striving for success. Instead, the righteousness that initiates the never-ending cycle of peace which leads to joy is found in the Holy Spirit. He poured himself upon us. He's chosen us to live in us. He is the proof that the kingdom of heaven has come to earth, and we can live in righteousness, which produces peace and brings joy. So, how can you practice these three parts of the kingdom of heaven while living in this crazy world? Let's start with righteousness. God's standard of righteousness uses himself as the measure. Perfect justice and goodness, according to that standard, his, not ours, that's an impossible requirement to meet, except that as one who has surrendered entirely to Jesus, you become the righteousness of God through Jesus Christ. You did or can do nothing to deserve that. You simply receive it because of Christ. Now, with an obligation and a desire to live from his incredible gift by the power of his grace. Therefore, step 1 to joyful kingdom living is to just daily surrender your dreams, desires, fears, and all your cares and anxieties to Jesus. If peace is the fruit of righteousness, that means simply doing step 1 will give you the fruit of peace. Wonderful, right? You know what's so curious to me is the order that Paul mentions this in Romans. He says it's righteousness, peace, and joy. Modern brain science has discovered that peace follows joy, primarily relational joy, which I think is joy in its purest form. Therefore, step 2 is simply enjoying the presence of Jesus. It's called the fellowship of the Spirit. He's your friend. He loves to be with you and enjoys spending time with you. And that brings you joy, which then results in peace. Isaiah tells us the work of righteousness is peace. So I propose to you that the act of surrendering all of your dreams and desires to God through joyful encounter of fellowship with Him will result in peace. So you see, beloved, joyful living can be found in just 2 easy steps. Surrender to God through the power of His grace and fellowship, in joyful union with Father, Jesus, and Holy Spirit. This intimate community of the 4 of you will bring joyful relational connection. You've already been called the righteousness of God through Jesus Christ. Now, because of your fellowship with the Trinity, you can live from righteousness, resulting in peace. Jesus is your peace. By spending intimate time with Him, you will experience peace that surpasses comprehension, especially when you look around the world and see all the craziness. While the world calls evil good and good evil, you, the one called the righteousness of God, can live a righteous life in everything you do. Peace will follow, and joy explodes in union with the God of all creation. Wow, that's a beautiful and uncomplicated circle to joyful kingdom living. So for more, please subscribe to my channel and watch my previous episodes. Now, may the Lord of peace Himself give you His peace at all times and in every situation. Until next time, beloved, the Lord be with you all.